I'm here off the coast of Panama, where we just recovered what we believe to be the coffin of legendary explorer Sir Francis Drake, who was buried at sea over 400 years ago. Are you sure you want to be defiling your ancestors' remains like that?
You make it sound so dirty. Besides, thought you didn't believe me.
Well, I did do my research, and apparently Francis Drake didn't have any children.
Well, history can't be wrong, you know. For example, you can't defile an empty coffin.
What the hell?
You devil.
What is it? Come on, hold it up.
No way. Deal was for a coffin. That's it.
Wait a minute. If my show hadn't have funded this expedition, you wouldn't have...
You got your story, lady.
Look, Mr. Drake, you signed a contract. I have a right to see every single thing that...
Could you hold that thought? Sully, we got some trouble. Hurry it up.
Okay. What's going on?
Pirates.
Pirates?
Yeah, the modern kind. They don't take prisoners. At least not male prisoners.
Wait, what are you talking about? Shouldn't we call the authorities or something?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea, but we don't exactly have a permit to be here.
What?
Yeah, so unless you want to end up in a Panamanian jail, we should probably handle this ourselves.
What's worse?
You obviously haven't been in a Panamanian jail. Do you know how to use one of these?
Yeah, it's like a camera. You point and shoot, right?
Good girl. Here we go.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Uncharted Drake's Fortune Remastered.
So what'd you do to piss him off?
You might be wondering, where is the story time? It is Wednesday. It's not usually a gameplay video. Well, I changed it up because I have a different way that I want to do the next story time.
These guys don't like you much, do they?
So you will be seeing that way next week. But until then...
Hurry up, Sully.
Oh, well, I mean, I was going to say until then you have to deal with this, but I mean, you don't have to watch this until next week. That'd just be ridiculous. But just so you know, they will become supplementary videos. And by that, I mean, we're going to now have 7 gameplay videos.
Oh, no, you don't.
A week. Oh, God, there we go. 7 gameplay videos a week, plus 5 or 6 storytime videos. I'm going to cut them up a little bit more. I'm going to cut them up into their individual chapters because not everybody wants to watch like an hour and a half long video that doesn't have any comment. I mean, people don't want to watch an hour and a half long video that does have commentary. So, I mean, whatever. But, you know, not everybody has that kind of time. So I figure if I cut it up into the individual chapters, that would make it like... Okay, there. Both sides now. You know, like 10, 20 minutes, probably. I mean, some episodes are going to be significantly longer than others, based on the Telltale games I've played so far. There might be some chapters that are like 5 minutes long, and then that's the supplementary video for the day. But like I said, it's going to be extra videos. They're no longer just going to be Wednesday videos. They're going to be like, you know, Monday will be chapter 1. The next one will be the Minecraft story mode, because that's the last Telltale game that I currently have downloaded, I think. And then after that, I may have to actually buy another game to do story mode in. But yeah, I figured I'd play Uncharted. You know, I have my PS4, and I've been talking about Uncharted in my other Let's Plays, because I've been going through them. If we pause here for a second, as the boat explodes, we can see that I have... the first game completely perfected. Now, they have this extended collection trophies down here, which are like bonus achievements, I guess, that aren't in the regular one. But it's not necessary for the platinum. But I went and got them anyway, because there's no point in perfecting a game if you're not going to perfect the game. Like, come on. I know that a lot of people, because I seen it in the Crash Bandicoot one too. Noticed that they had it. I was watching. I don't own it,
Okay.
but I was watching a video and the guy checked the achievements or checked the trophies. And he was like, "Oh look, I got the platinum." And I noticed that there's like another thing underneath it where it's like the lost treasures or something, which I'm pretty sure was a bonus thing, not the second game. Maybe. I don't know.
I can't leave you alone for a minute, can I?
I had everything under control until they blew up the boat. You all right?
Nothing that years of therapy won't fix.
Well, if it isn't the beautiful and talented Elena Fisher.
Flattery will get you screen time.
Yeah, I'm more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. Victor Sullivan.
Huh.
For Christ's sakes. What do you say we get out of here before we attract any more attention?
Well?
Little present from Sir Francis.
Oh, so you found the coffin. Wait a minute, is this what I think it is?
Drake's lost diary. He faked his death, just like I said, Sully. He must have been onto something big.
Yeah, well, let's just keep that between us.
Thanks for the loan, Mr. Drake. I think I've earned a look at that diary when we land.
So look, when Drake sailed into the Pacific, he took the Spanish fleet completely by surprise. He captured their ships, he took all their maps, their letters, their journals, and he recorded everything in this diary.
So this...
But when he got back to England, Queen Elizabeth confiscated all of his charts and logbooks, including this one, and then swore his entire crew to silence.
Yeah, so this...
You see, Drake discovered something on that voyage, Sully. Something so secret and so valuable, they couldn't risk it getting out.
All right, Nate, just pretend for a minute that I don't really care about any of that stuff and cut to the chase, would you?
Man only interested in the climax. He must be a real hit with the ladies.
Never had any complaints.
Okay, then. I'll jump to the good part, just for you.
Ho, ho, ho.
Huh?
El goddamn Dorado.
He was onto something big, all right.
Does it say anything else?
Oh, so now you're interested, huh?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, no. Last page was torn out. I'm telling you, Sully. This is it. This is finally it.
Yeah. Only... we got one little problem.
Yes, that's what I said. It blew up. It sank. No, that's why we have insurance, right? Oh. Oh no, the camera? No, the camera's fine. Don't worry about the camera, no. Still as good as new.
Sully, the girl can hold her own. You should have seen her.
Fine. You go on out there and you tell her, we just found the lost city of gold. Maybe her producer can get it on the air tonight.
Oh, come on.
Nate, do you trust me?
More or less.
Good. Because we're gonna have every two-bit scumbag in the world racing us to this treasure unless we cut her loose right now.
You're a real gentleman, Sully.
I know. It stinks. She'll get over it.
No, I don't care for over budget. I mean, do you realize that this could be like the biggest story of the year? Hi. No, I don't trust him, okay? That's why we need to move fast. So just get me the camera crew, and I promise you that... Son of a bitch. Hey! Should have seen that one coming. Ugh.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, kid. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Okay, so that was chapter 1. As you can tell, not very long, but there are a couple chapters in this game that are fairly lengthy, and other ones that are just as short, if not shorter than that. But there are like 22 chapters, maybe more, 20-some chapters altogether, so I mean, there's a lot of chapters, and they vary in length, but I don't think any of them are overly long. Just recorded this, by the way. Found out that the PlayStation has a neat little feature where if you plug a headphone jack into it and you ask it to give you audio through it, it won't put audio through the HDMI cord. So yeah, I recorded the entire thing, and the only audio I had was in the last 10 seconds when I was futzing about in the menus after unplugging my headphone jack.
Well,
I don't get it. According to this, we're right on top of the mark.
maybe you're not reading that thing right. Let me see it.
No, this is the place.
There's nothing here, Nate. Another goddamn dead end.
Easy, Sully. Just relax. Let's take a look around.
So I imagine that this video will take 4 or 5 videos. Or this video. This game will take 4 or 5 videos for me to get through. Because like I said, I've already beat it on hard, crushing, and brutal for the trophies. And I have also beat it on the speed run. Which I'm trying to look up right now what it was. But my computer is refusing to load the internet.
It's older than that.
But you know what?
2,000
Fuck it.
years
We
old.
have it right here. So there's no point in not just checking it. I was hoping not to do that. But anyway, let's see. Less than 2 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, the speed run is for 2.5 hours. But obviously, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you skip by in that one. For one, you skip past all the, like you skip the cutscenes. I don't think that the cutscenes add to your time at all.
Nothing yet.
But still, obviously that'll add a lot of time in the video. And then there's some fights that you skip by that I won't be. And obviously I was playing it on easy because there's no point in doing the speed run on a higher difficulty. Especially not when you have the time limit there. So it was 3.5 hours, and I think I did it in just barely over 3 hours when I did it. Like, I had a little bit of time to spare, which is good. It was, I mean, I didn't really fuck up a whole lot. Like, there was some areas I probably could have done faster, but, you know, that's the same in most games. Not really one for speedrun achievements. There's 4 of them in this game. There's 3 that are tied to specific levels. And then there is that one, which is like, you know, do the whole game. Now the specific level, or the level specific speed runs are needed for the platinum. That one isn't. It's in the extended collection. So yeah, I think with the cutscenes in it and not rushing through, I mean, it's still going to be a lot faster than if it was a blind playthrough, obviously, because I already know all the puzzles and where to go for everything. So it's a lot
What a
easier
warm and
then.
homey place, huh?
Well, not quite what you were expecting, huh?
Yeah. Where's all the damn gold?
Yeah, this place was picked clean centuries ago.
No good limey pirate.
No, it wasn't Drake. Check this out. Looks like the Spanish got here before he did. What the hell, Sully?
Nate, I'm not looking for a lousy piece of tin. I'm up to my eyeballs in debt. I was really counting on this one.
Too many big bar tabs in Lima, I guess.
That and, well, just a few bad deals.
Yeah, well, I always told you to stay away from the bad guys. And the bad girls.
Yeah? Look who's talking.
What's that supposed to mean?
That reporter? I saw the way you were eyeing her.
Elena? Please. I snuffed any chance with her the second we ditched her on that dock.
All's fair in love and war, kid.
And what if you can't tell the difference?
Then, my friend, you are in big trouble. Those Spaniards sure left a lot of crap on.
Yeah, I mean, this game here, I really enjoyed it, but I can tell, I say but like I'm about to say something bad. No,
You're not kidding.
I really enjoyed it, and as I played it, it became, especially once I got near the end, it became very clear that, oops, it took a lot from the Tomb Raider series. Like, a lot of people say that the new Tomb Raiders take a lot from Uncharted, and while I kind of get that, I mean, Uncharted took stuff from the original Tomb Raiders anyway, and the new Tomb Raiders don't really play like if you've played both, like looking at both of them, you might think that it's like, oh, they you know, they look very similar, and it's like, kind of. Some of the stuff is similar, but
Alright, let go.
overall they're very different. Like, for example, the first Uncharted here has a singular stealth function, which I will show you later once we get to our first set of like real enemies, because that fight on the boat at the beginning, even on brutal, super easy.
You know, this looks familiar. I think there's something in Drake's journal about
Takes
this.
like nothing. The next group of enemies is what I would
here it
consider
is.
the first fight. So this here's
Looks
how
like
you
this
solve
thing is some kind
puzzles.
of lamp or brazier.
He will, once again, this will be
See if
shown
you
a
can
little
light it.
bit better later on once we come to our first like
Bitching
real
about the
puzzle.
cigar. Now it comes in handy.
Like he'll notice something and be like, hey, that looks familiar, and then it's like, open up your journal to find out why, and then the journal more or less just gives you the answer. Once again, it'll be a lot more obvious in the next puzzle than in this one, because this one isn't a puzzle. It's like, oh, it's a brazier, you should light it. It's like, fine. Why there's still fuel in it after all this time, I have no idea, but you know, whatever. But yeah, like the new Tomb Raiders have a lot of stealth in them. This game does not. The second one has stealth. I know the fourth one does, and I imagine the third one does. I haven't played the fourth one, but I've seen the entire fourth game played. I've seen nothing of the third game whatsoever. Now, those things there that are falling out, I have noticed that some games when they do stuff like that, right, it'll be like that, but it won't ever actually fall out until you jump off of it, and then it'll fall out, right? These ones here, completely on a timer, and will totally fall out while you're holding on to it, and fuck you. Yeah, come on, Sully, get your ass down here. Need your lighter. Which is nice, because it makes it a little bit more believable. Like, as you saw in the one there, I barely made it off of it, as it, like, I jumped as it was falling. So yeah. I mean, but another thing that this thing kind of draws from the Tomb Raider series is it's a very similar storyline to the old ones, which is you're going through, like, you're looking for a specific thing, right? Like, we're looking for El Dorado right now, and we're going through the ruins and whatnot to find it. And that's how, like, the original Tomb Raiders played out. It's like, oh, I need to find this one thing, so I'm going to follow all these leads until I get to it. Whereas the new ones are, it's like, hey, we're going for this one thing, and then bad shit happens to Lara Croft constantly.
What do you make of this?
So if you look up at the top there, you'll see, like,
recognize these
those
symbols.
rock panels. And then he's like, oh, those symbols look familiar. So it's like, oh, you open up the journal, and there you go. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So that's the order that you have to hit the signs. The order of these signs has some importance. There you go. So yeah, like I said, it pretty much gives you, like, straight up, gives you the fucking puzzles. Now, obviously, I've done this 5, 6 times now because of the failed recording. If not more, because I may have done it again for something else. Just, I don't remember doing it again, but you never know, right? So I don't even need to look at the book for this one just to know the order that they're in. But yeah, like, the first one was like the short, fat cross thing. The next one was like the fucking playing card dude here. And yeah, like, as soon as you memorize the orders, obviously you need to memorize them. And then, like, the spider one, and then the face. But, like, you need to memorize them for the speed run. Because while 3.5 hours is a decent amount of time to complete it, like, it does leave you wiggle room. It's still not, like, an insane amount. Like I said, I think I finished it with just over 2 hours, or just over the 3-hour mark. So, like, I had, I think, like, 15, 20 minutes to spare. So, you know, it was a good amount of time left to spare, but I had already played through the game, I think, twice at that point, because I think I did hard, crushing, and then I did the speed run, and then I did brutal, I think.
Pretty deep.
Because I don't know why I
looks like
did it
there's
that
a
way.
ladder
Maybe because
coming from the
after
side.
crushing, I didn't want to attempt
here while I
brutal
check
right
it out.
away. Could be.
Just be careful.
So yeah, like, it, like, definitely lets you go past it faster. But yeah, like, just like in the Tomb Raider series, even in the new ones, it plays out normally, and then near the end it turns supernatural. Like, there are supernatural things in these games, but they don't, like, beat you over the head with it. They show up at the end and do stuff. It's like
somewhere.
well, like, if you saw the Tomb Raider movies, which I do like, by the way. Fuck everybody who says that they're bad. I mean, I don't know what you expected from a Tomb Raider movie. I mean, you don't expect her to go walking around pushing crates around ancient ruins, do you? Like you do in the games. If you watch the movies, they have a lot more supernatural stuff in the movies, I feel, than they did in, the games. But even then, even in the movies, they don't, like, beat you over the head with it. It's, like, very small amounts. And, you know, it never makes any sense. Like, most of the stuff in games like this don't make sense because it's, like, there's no way that they had a way of doing that, right? Like, even what we just did there, it's like we pushed the 4 in the right order, like the 4 stone slabs in the right order, and then it opens up the floor the way it does. I don't feel like an ancient civilization could have done that. Like, I know that they had puzzles or like puzzle traps and whatnot, but a lot of the ones that they show in video games and movies and that seem very illogical that they'd have, like in the first Indiana Jones with like the light trap, it's like if you step into the light, it shoots the darts or it activates the trap. It's like, what ancient technology allowed them to have a light sensor? And wouldn't that mean that as soon as it got dark outside, you know, there's no more light? So couldn't you just like go through the temple at night with a flashlight and then you don't have to worry about it? Because if there's no light, then there's no way to block the light and then there's no way to activate the trap. I think so far the most believable ancient... Oh, fuck. The most, like... Oh, am I, like, not dead down there or something? Oh, I wasn't. He had caught onto the thing. I think it actually had given me time. If I had the right camera angle, I may have actually been able to climb up for there. But yeah, like the most believable like ancient trap or anything that I've seen has been in the rundown. Where if you've seen it, they went in there and it was like the ceiling was all shit. Like it was all torn up and like whoever the fuck it was had put up the logs. And it's like, if you take the correct logs out, then the roof won't cave in, where if you take the wrong ones, it does. Now, that seems like something that they could have done. I don't know how to do it. I imagine I could figure it out given enough time. But, I mean, it seems like something that is more believable to me. Now, another thing that annoys me, which I don't think happens in this game. No. Oh, okay. After.
Oh, man. The temple must have been built around this.
Around what?
A statue. Gold statue.
A huge gold statue. And look here, these people, they're worshipping the damn thing. At least, I think they're people.
Of course. El Dorado, the Golden Man. Sully, it wasn't a city of gold. It was this. It was a golden idol.
Man, can you imagine what that thing would be worth now?
Look over here. Tracks. I bet the Spanish dragged it out on cut logs. We're 400 years late for this party.
So the trail's cold.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Son of a bitch.
Unless
Unless what?
we follow the tracks.
But yeah, like I was saying, one thing that also annoys me in movies and games, which doesn't happen in this one, but it is in the second one, and it is in the second Tomb Raider, I think. Maybe not. Is like they go through ruins like this, right? And then they come out to an open area, right?
Huh.
And it's like the reveal of what they were looking for. It's like the city that they were looking for, like the Lost City or something, right? And it's like this big reveal, but it's like fucking open to the sky. It's like, sure, you had to go through all that shit to get to it, but if you had a helicopter, you could have got there. And it annoys me a lot in some stuff more than others. Like,
Sully, do you hear that?
I think they do it in one of the Indiana Jones where they do that. It may even be the fourth one that they do it. It's real. It makes more sense because they were on ground the whole time. But like in the second Uncharted, the one guy who's like the bad guy, who's also looking for the same thing. Because believe it or not, that happens in all of these games probably. He has fucking helicopters galore and could have just flew there and never did.
Must have come up the river during flood season and gotten stuck. Let's check it out, huh?
No, wait. Something about this feels kind of hinky.
Hinky. You act like you've never seen a German U-boat in the middle of the jungle before.
I'm being serious, Nate.
I tell you what, why don't you stay here?
I'll check it out myself. I'll call you if I run into any Nazis.
Yeah, right. You do that.
Oh, wait. Hold on to this for me, will you? Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to do this the hard way.
But yeah, like, they do that a lot when they're looking for, like, ancient civilizations and that and stuff. It's like, the big reveal is, like, it's open to the sky, like, the sunlight streaming in, and that it's like, yeah, I mean, if it had that giant hole in the cave system or whatever the fuck it was in, couldn't you have just, like, choppered in? I mean, even if there was no place to land, you know, they have it where, like, you can chopper in and just, like, drop the ropes down and climb down, like, I've seen people do that. Like, I know that that's a thing you can do. You could parachute in, maybe. Maybe not. You know, parachutes, maybe not, because that's really up to the... Oh, fuck. Up to the wind, whether or not you make it where you want to go. But, still. It does annoy me. It's not in this game. I don't remember. But, yeah. One thing I do like about this game, though, is it goes through... It's like, you know, Francis was looking for it. Oh, but the Spanish found it first. It's like people actually found this shit. It's not like something that's been hidden that's never been found, right? It's like, it's been found and it's been moved around. Now, the stuff with that, it's like, I feel like it's a little bullshit where it's like, it's still lost. But at the same time, it's like, they have to be careful about who they said found it and at what time period it was found. Because, like, if it was found nowadays, it could very easily be lost just because, like, somebody hides it somewhere. And, like, nowadays, if somebody hid it somewhere, they would have, like, the GPS coordinates of it, and, like, that would be it. Like, there wouldn't be any of these, like, complicated puzzles or anything to, or, like, codes to decipher. Well, I mean, they might have a code that, like, fucked up the GPS coordinates, and unless you know the cipher or whatever, you know, whatever. Point is, it's not going to be as adventure-y as they make some of these out to be, but that's, you know, nowadays. Like, the conquistadors, or whatever the fuck it was, he just said Spanish. I guess they don't have to be conquistadors, but that's just what that helmet reminds me of. Found it, and then, you know, Drake found it, and the Nazis here found it. So, you know, it got moved around.
Okay.
But the thing about that, though, is it got moved around, but according
Nasty
to...
happened to these guys.
I don't,
Blood
it's...
everywhere. And soup.
I can't really say without spoiling it, just in case somebody who's watching this has never seen the game or something. You know, I don't want to spoil what happens near the end. But yeah, there's some of it that's believable and other stuff that isn't. But that's the nature of video games, right? And I don't mean believable as in, like, video game logic. I mean believable as in, like, because, like, this game tries to use history to, like, you know, Sir Francis Drake, real person, real privateer, right? You know, the Nazis, real people, did enjoy the occult, or tried to do stuff with the occult. You know, like, all this shit, like, they did search for treasures and whatnot, so... They like their gold, apparently. So, you know, some stuff makes sense, other stuff not so much. But overall, I think this game does alright with it. I mean, the story so far of these games are pretty good. Like I said, I haven't played the fourth one, but that was my first experience with Uncharted. Was watching a playthrough, Achievement Hunter played through the fourth game. And that actually got me wanting to buy the Nathan Drake collection, which is what this is, you know, the remastered versions of all three. Just because I don't have a PlayStation 3 or anything, like all I have in my PS4 right now. I don't have any of the older systems, so I never played. Like, I've had a PlayStation 1 and 2, and then I skipped 3. So I didn't really get Uncharted. I didn't get Tomb Raider either, though, to be fair. Like, I didn't play Tomb Raider until the 360. Like, when the first one of the new Tomb Raiders came out, I played the fuck out of it, perfected it. And then I went back and I played the ones that they came out with, like the remastered versions of the older games that they came out with, and perfected those on the 360. Like, I never played them when they first came out.
Cozy.
And same with Uncharted here. I'm playing the remastered ones. I've never played the originals. But like I said, I've really enjoyed it. Even number 2, I don't much care for the combat in it. It's way too hard for my liking. But the story is solid.
captain's quarters. Get this, he's still here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, it looks like he was killed. Ripped to shreds, actually. Oof, what a way to go.
Yeah, sounds terrible. Check his wallet.
You're all hearts, Sully. No way. You've got to be kidding.
Find anything, kid?
UK 2642. UK 2642. Gotcha.
Are you alright?
Sully, you're not gonna believe this.
Try me.
I think I found our missing page.
You're kidding.
It looks like Drake and our German pals were after the same treasure. And I've got the map that's gonna lead us right to it.
Nate, this better not be another wild goose chase. We've got to get something out of this trip or...
Or what? Sully? You there? Sullivan?
That's another thing that kind of annoys me in games where it's like they find the body who's still holding on to the thing, but it's like they were brutally murdered. It's like if they were brutally murdered, why is he like reclined holding on to his piece of paper? I mean, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But even then, that's like a minor like nagging at me.
That's probably bad.
Hello.
Hey! Friends of yours, Sully?
I'm Gabriel Roman.
Yeah, I know who you are, asshole.
Manners, young man. This is just business.
Get over there.
Easy.
Put your hands up.
Hi, they're up.
See, your friend owes me money, Mr. Drake. A lot of money. So when he told me that you two were onto something big, the find of a lifetime, he said, well, I was intrigued. But he's made grand promises before, haven't you, Victor? And here we are again. Another fool's errand.
Jeez, does he always go on like this?
Take it easy, Navarro. So, I'm afraid the time is up. Unless, of course, you found something in there, Mr. Drake, that might compensate for all this unpleasantness.
He's screwing with you, Nate. They heard everything. Just give him the map.
Slowly. What does a Kriegsmarine map have to do with El Dorado?
What, you think this is a coincidence? The Germans were after the same treasure. That map has something to do with it. So, we square?
For now. But just in case you need a reminder...
Hey, come on, leave him out of it.
Yeah, don't you guys usually just cut off a finger or something?
That's far too vulgar. No, I think this will hurt him a bit more.
Now, whoa. Come on, Roman. He's got nothing to do with...
Sully! Sully! You son of a bitch!
Alright, so just so you know, this right here, getting around this corner, hardest part in the game. Oh, there we go, and I actually got the brutal combo this time. Tried to do that like 4 times the first time I recorded this today, could not get it to work. But yeah, that right there, hardest part on Crushing and Brutal.
Whoa there, cowboy. That's for leaving me at the dock.
What the hell are you doing here?
Listen, I'm a good enough reporter to follow a couple of no-luck tomb robbers.
He went this way! I raise your head!
Well, you're down to one tomb robber now. Sully's dead.
What?
Yeah.
And we're next if we don't get out of here.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Please tell me you have a gun.
Of course.
Oh, thanks. All right, come on.
So now we are getting to the actual combat, like first group of enemies. Now this here's the only stealth function they have, which is you get behind somebody and you hit square, and then they die. It's a one-hit kill. It's not... Oh. There we go. And there we go. It's the only kind of stealth mechanic they have, and it doesn't work very well because it does alert pretty much everybody to your presence that's anywhere near them.
You too, you know.
So it doesn't work the best. But I mean, it does help occasionally. Like that right there, I got rid of one guy. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's still one less guy that I have to deal with later. Him. That's pretty much all this game is about. For that, like the melee combat in this game is decent, but you know, playing on the harder difficulties, obviously it's fairly worthless. I mean, even on this difficulty, the melee combat isn't going to be the best. Because if you kill somebody with a brutal combo, which is square, and then you hit triangle once the first blow hits, and then you hit square again to finish them, right? If you do that, you get extra ammo from them, which on, you know, the harder difficulties, they drop less ammo, so, you know, you would think it would be more important to get the brutal combos. But, unfortunately... you're not going to be able to melee anyone down on the harder difficulties because you will be dead before you get the chance to. It is very, very, very rare that the melee combat in this game comes in handy. Because, like, on the easier difficulties, obviously the enemies go down in less bullets. I mean, I'm headshotting them, which is a one-hit kill, which is a thing I would like to point out, that even on brutal, I think, a headshot is a one-hit kill, which is fucking fantastic. I absolutely despise games where, like, somebody, like, without a helmet, without armor, you shoot them in the head and they don't give a fuck. It's like, it takes, like, 3 headshots to kill someone. It makes no sense to me whatsoever, and it always annoys me. It's like, I get it, they have a health bar that you're taking down, it's just a critical hit. And I mean... in some games, I guess technically it makes sense, but it really doesn't, ever. I mean, in some games it makes sense. As you see, it says ×2 there. I still only got 1 bullet, but you know, I only could hold 1 bullet.
These guys aren't messing around.
But yeah, like the melee combat in the game, fairly worthless, because like on the harder difficulties, it's too hard to get a melee kill for it to be worthwhile to go for it. Whereas on the easier difficulties, it's not needed. Because the enemies die fast enough that you don't need it. And I'm basing that purely off of my earlier recording today. Because I did play it on easy a little bit to clean up some of the achievements, obviously, and to do the speedrun. Oh, fuck. I almost always do that at that part. That part, they're also very hard on Crushing and Brutal, because those guys annihilate you, and then you have to come across these guys here, who have a clear enough shot at you. Oops. No, that one. There we go. That the amount of damage you take is ridiculous. Now, these pots here, as you can see, it's broken there. They can break. So they are cover, but the enemies can shoot through it if an enemy takes cover behind one, which I don't remember any of them doing that, but I mean, you could shoot through it in theory if they did that. So these videos here, I am going to, they might end up being a little bit shorter, like a little bit less than an hour, like 10, maybe 15 minutes on some of them. Because after having played through the game 4 times, you know, I know about the length of the chapters. Oh, fuck, got him. So, like, I know if, like, the next chapter is going to push me way over the hour mark or not. And I'm going to try and just make sure that I end on a chapter. Like, at the beginning of a chapter. Nope. So, like, for example, I know that we're going to end on chapter 3. Or 4. We're in chapter 3. So I know for a fact that we're going to end on chapter 4. Because we're going to get into this thing here, and then it's a very long cutscene. And by very long, I mean very long.
Well, I
And then we're going to end the video because Chapter 4 is one of the ones that are a little bit longer and would push us way over the hour mark, I
Yeah,
think.
why?
UK 2642. You got that?
Yeah, what is it?
It's Kriegsmarine coordinates. I think I know where the Spanish took El Dorado.
El Dorado?
The problem is, so that the bastards killed Sully. Damn it! If the Spanish found the treasure, they had to move it there, to that island. And Drake followed him.
Well, what are we waiting for? I'll get the story, and you get whatever it is you're after. Come on.
Hey, this isn't gonna be a vacation, you know.
I can take care of myself. Besides, you owe me one.
I suppose I do.
We're on the trail of the lost treasure of El Dorado, and it's brought us here to this tiny island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Let's get a closer look. I hope we're the first ones here.
Will we discover the ruins of a forgotten colony and a fortune in Spanish gold? Or does the island have darker secrets in store for us?
That should keep him from changing the channel. Whoa! What the hell was that?
An anti-aircraft fire? This is so not cool!
Oh crap! We're on fire!
Enough with the damn camera! We gotta bail out!
Bail out? Does this thing even have parachutes?
Now would be a good time to look!
I hope these things still work.
We'll find out in a second.
Have you ever done this before?
Of course! You just jump, count to 5, and pull the cord. Now go!
Are you coming?
Kind of busy right now. Get going!
See you on the ground?
Right behind you!
Yeah. Okay.
What am I doing? Okay, you just jump, count to 5, and pull the cord. How hard could that be? Oh, crap! Shit. Whew. Hell. Strangers trying to kill me, leave my map on a burning plane.
Alright,
Plane is
so
missing.
that will be
Looks
the
like
end
they're
of
dead.
our video for today.
That's great.
Because I don't believe I can get through this chapter in 15 minutes. Not with, well, there might not be too many cutscenes in it, but still, I'm going to end it here anyway. Because this game isn't very long to begin with. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.